Hey everyone, and welcome to the Nostalgia Effect, the podcast where we examine movies from our childhood through the lens of adulthood. As always, I'm Amy, and we got Joe, and we got Johnny, who seems to want to be in therapy right now because he's laying down on the couch.
Oh yeah, there it is.
Huh? What?
Oh.
Did we start?
Okay. I guess.
Johnny, it's Christmas.
Christmas.
So today it
You
is.
there, boy. What day is it?
So today we're going to be going back to school with Grease.
Oh, no.
Oh man,
I'm real excited for this episode.
shouldn't be going to school with grease. Been all over everything.
Ugh.
But before we talk about Grease, this will be a little bit dated by the time this episode comes out, but D23 was this past weekend, so now you guys know when we recorded this episode.
Mm-hmm.
And they announced a bunch of stuff.
D23 of 2020.
We're in the future.
We're in the future. Spider-Man is still not part of Disney now.
And Lizzie McGuire, the reboot, season 3 is coming.
Wait, it's a TV show?
It's a Disney Plus TV show. They're bringing back Lizzie McGuire with Hilary Duff.
Interesting.
And Lizzie McGuire was a very, very fun part of my childhood. One of my favorite shows on Disney Channel, including Even Stevens and Phil the Future. Show I think that Joe would have liked because it's about the future and people from the future coming
And
to...
it stars a guy named Phil.
I hate guys called Phil.
You
Well-
are a guy called Phil.
That is uncalled for.
But because this movie, or this TV show is coming back, I wanted to pose the question of what shows from your childhood, they could be a reboot like the way DuckTales is on Disney XD, or the way they're bringing back Lizzie McGuire and the way they brought back Boy Meets World with Girl Meets World, where it's just a continuation of the story a couple years or a few years later. Would you want to come back? I have one that I think Joe will really like, but I want to hear your guys' first if you have any.
I'm not entirely sure I do. I'm like trying to think.
It's not his strong suit.
Nope, that's why
Yeah.
he's laying down.
Clearly.
It was the more blood to the brain.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should be laying upside down.
All right, hold on. I'm just kidding. Yeah, no, I don't shows from childhood like that I'd like. I don't know. I've gone back and like watched shows that I used to like really like as a kid and seen them as an adult and been like, oh. these
Why
don't
did I
go
like this?
Yeah.
Really? Like any come to mind?
Fuck, what was it? Like the animated Spider-Man is good.
Yeah.
I like it, but it's a little dated where you're just like, oh yeah, this isn't great.
Yeah, it's.
I used to love like Pokemon the animated series, and I can't watch
Hey,
that.
Pokemon is great.
Pokemon is great. The video games are great. The animated series, probably not so much. But I mean, yeah. So I'm not entirely sure. I don't know. I don't really have an answer for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I know DuckTales would probably be, or Tailspin.
I grew up with like DuckTales and Tailspin and Gummy Bears and Darkwing Duck and so the new DuckTales I do really, really like.
Which I was watching that this morning.
Oh,
And
were
it
you?
kind of plays into my answer for this question, but
Oh,
continue.
interesting. Where was it season 1 or are you?
It was like
two?
the first or second episode. It was when their mom comes back. That was the episode that was on when I was like,
I think it's season 2.
Yeah, when
I've
they-
not. I know that that's coming, but I've not seen much into season 2. But anyway, yeah, there's like segments of the new DuckTales where they reference Darkwing Duck, and it's like a TV show that exists in that universe. It's not like a thing that's happening for real. It's a TV show. But when they've shown segments of Darkwing Duck, I get really excited. So I would love to see a Darkwing Duck show, but honestly, and this is going to be crotchety old me soapboxing.
oh,
But
of course. We can't not have an episode without you doing that.
No, but I kind of
There
feel
it
like
goes again.
I kind of feel like once a show is done,
It's-
maybe should be done.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of shows, even the really good ones, the best ones, you know, by the time they're at their end, you feel it. You know, the show has
Yeah.
kind of outlived its time, and I feel like, you know, like Star Trek Next Generation was on for 7 seasons. They did everything.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, if there's a show that I would like to see maybe brought back, it'd be shows that didn't ever really get the chance to continue,
like
Pushing
Firefly.
Daisies. Firefly, yeah, although I feel like I really like the movie as well, and I feel like the movie sort of capped off everything pretty well. But something like Pushing Daisies,
Pushing
that
Daisies
really,
would be fantastic.
I
if they
would.
brought it
I
back.
don't care that everybody is older, and you know, I would watch it. I would watch it.
I still have yet to watch it, even though you told me to watch it like a year ago.
It's true.
It is very good. I think it got added to like Hulu or something. It was on like a specialty like channel.
It's it was on what do you call it? It was on CW Seed, like reruns were on CW Seed.
Yeah, something like that. It was, but I think now it's either actually on one of the big ones.
Oh, is
I'm
it?
looking it up on Hulu right now.
I think it's on either Hulu or I don't know if it's Netflix, maybe Amazon. I'm not entirely sure, but
It
one
might
of the
be
big ones.
Amazon, yeah.
Because it was on like that I did have to download that like CW Seed thing app or whatever.
Yeah.
But now I saw it recently like on a bigger platform, and I was like, oh shit, that's great. I
Yeah.
hope more people see it.
I hope
it's
so
not
too.
on Hulu.
It's
But it's probably on Amazon.
it's one of those shows that's just so special and it's so good and it really deserved to be seen. There was going to be a comic book series that would take place after the show ended, sort of on a cliffhanger, but they wrapped it up as quickly as well as they could in the couple minutes that they had because they were just canceled, you know. But then there was supposed to be like a graphic novel that was supposed to sort of continue. And they had it drawn, and it was all written, and they had some of it drawn, but then Warner Brothers, the imprint for the graphic novel owned by Warner Brothers, like went out of business, or they sold it, or they discontinued it, something. So like it didn't ever get to come out, and so it was just like at every turn the show was
like, that show is just destined to just not be complete.
Yeah.
Which sucks because it's such a good like. I remember we were watching it like recently.
Yeah.
Just the first like episode, I'm like, this show is really inventive.
It was like so snappy and so fun. It had the right mix of like dark comedy and even like a spookiness, you know, and everybody in it. Lee Pace, Kristen Chenoweth, Anna Friel, Shy McBride.
Great. It's a great show. You should check it out.
So fun.
Listener, if you haven't seen it, check it out.
Yes. Pushing Daisies by Brian Fuller. In fact, check out all of the offerings from Brian Fuller. He's pretty good at what he does.
I'm just kidding. I got no complaints.
Anyway, Amy, what's yours?
Yeah, what's the show?
Because I was watching DuckTales this morning, it kind of spurred on this question. It made me think of it, and I was looking at my stack of VHS tapes that I brought from my parents' house, my most recent visit, and I saw Rescue Rangers.
Oh, yeah. I was just talking about Rescue Rangers the other day.
I was like, that would be...
Is that a show?
Yeah, Chippendale's Rescue Rangers.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I was thinking of Rescuers Down Under for some
Oh, yeah.
Or like Rescuers, the
Rescuers.
Yeah. But if they brought that back with the same animation style and like voice casting that they have for DuckTales, it would be so cool. I feel like they could do so much. Like they would have like Rescue Rangers, Tailspin, Darkwing Duck, all of that stuff.
Yeah.
Like
You're talking
in
about
the same little
the
universe.
new animation for
DuckTales.
Okay.
Because like the original DuckTales and Rescue Rangers kind of had that same animation style.
They all
like
they all
that
kind of like
Yeah, I think that would be kind of cool to have them all in the same little universe type thing.
That would be great. I was just talking about Rescue Rangers. Sarah didn't grow up watching it, but I told her that like my first like TV crush was Gadget.
I can totally
Mouse?
see that because I feel like you wanted to be the male version of Gadget.
No,
you were the male
he
version of
wanted
Gadget.
to have sex with that mouse.
She was cute, okay?
Actually, she was she a sugar glider? Or was
she
a
what?
mouse? Like a
She
sugar
was a
glider?
sugar mama. What?
The like squirrel that can fly?
A flying
Sugar
squirrel.
glider?
Yeah.
Is that what they're called? This is wait a minute.
I
Is this
have
the
heard.
Midwest thing?
I have heard that they're called something like that.
Like a flying
somewhere
squirrel?
else. Yeah.
So Google did autofill sugar glider.
So it is a thing.
No, it's a thing. I mean, I recently heard that maybe from you.
It is a small omnivorous arboreal nocturnal gliding possum belonging to the marsupial infraclass.
Yes.
The name refers to its preference for sugary foods. I think we all prefer sugary foods, don't we?
I think she is a mouse.
I think she's a mouse though, but she's super.
She's
cute.
a sexy mouse, though.
She's a sexy mouse, and
I
told
like her jumpsuit and her goggles.
Yeah, I told Sarah, I was like, my first crush was this mouse. She's a redhead and
Oh
she
my
fixes
God.
things, so she's
No.
kind of Sarah.
No, like looking at this picture, I can totally see Sarah doing this as like a costume.
Yeah.
I don't even want to know what you guys get up to. All right? This is way too much. I don't know. I'm deeply disturbed.
Yeah. Well, and what's funny is if you look at Chip and Dale in that show specifically.
Yeah. Aren't they modeled after Indiana Jones?
Indiana Jones
and Tom Sawyer?
and Magnum PI.
Yeah.
Yeah. which is funny because both were supposed to be played by Tom Selleck.
Interesting.
Tom Selleck was originally the choice for Indiana Smith before his obligations to Magnum PI sort of precluded him from being involved in the film.
Yeah.
And then they changed the name to Indiana Jones and cast some other dude.
I don't know if I could have watched Indy with it being Tom Selleck.
There's like
Is there
casting.
screen tests?
There's screen tests with him, and
Great.
he's
Does
wearing.
he have a mustache?
He's got the mustache,
That's fucking
and the
great.
leather jacket he's wearing is like a members only jacket, so it's very 80s. But he's got like
I
the
gotta
fedora.
find this.
Yeah, it's
pretty
on.
good.
It's like a special feature on the set, like on the box set.
Ooh, because I have the DVD box set and it's got.
It's on there. It
It's
should
got
be
the
on there.
first 3 movies and then like a bonus
Yeah.
set. Okay,
Yeah.
so it probably
You
is
have
on
it
there.
then, yeah. You'll
I
find
stole
it.
it from my dad. Sorry, Dad. You don't even realize that I stole it. So let's talk about Greece,
Let's talk
the
about
country.
Greece.
Oh, okay.
They have great food.
The socioeconomic.
They have less good socioeconomic status than
Than their
than
food.
Their banking system is
is just
she in the work.
chef's kiss. So
Greece.
we've all
the
seen
movie.
we've
the
all seen the
musical.
movie Grease.
Yes.
Have we all
Mm-hmm.
seen Grease too?
No. And Sarah was like, "Oh, you got to watch Grease too." And I was like, "Why? It's
It's a
famously
train wreck,
awful."
and
it's
she's like, "But,"
amazing.
she's like, "That's the best reason to watch it." It's like,
Yeah, it's like watching The Room, but worse.
no, because it
But with
features a
singing.
young Michelle Pfeiffer.
Yeah.
Yeah, any Michelle Pfeiffer's
What-
good. Michelle Pfeiffer.
What were your guys' memories of this movie growing up?
I see, like, they're very vague. The thing I most recall about Grease is that we had to sing it. We had to sing songs from it as part of a like music class thing that we did, which is weird. It was like in elementary school, and it was like once a week we'd like go into like the like hall or whatever, I think we called it the multi-purpose room.
Oh,
Yeah.
Fancy.
I was just, it's a fucking auditorium. And we sung songs from like different like musicals and
Yeah.
shit. And some of the songs were from Greece. And I remember these songs are really stupid. And being like, yeah, I was a child and not a particularly, I don't know,
good at
Gifted
being a
singer?
child.
gifted singer, outgoing person. So I was, didn't want to sing. So, and then I think I saw the movie. I think I rented it or I don't know how, I was on TV or something. I don't fucking know. But I saw the movie and I was like, huh.
Was it a long while after?
I don't think so. Because again, they're very vague.
So they made you sing the songs, but they didn't show you the movie.
Well, because it wasn't like a part of the regular class. It was like a thing that we did with like a different instructor in elementary school where
yeah.
that wasn't really the case.
yeah.
So it wasn't like, it was just, it was a weird thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even fucking know. It was
Like
just
a
weird
music
thing.
class type.
Yeah, it was
situation?
it was a music class, but we didn't learn anything about music.
Yeah.
Like, we just sang. We learned how to sing these songs, I suppose. So, I mean, whatever. And then we had like a performance, like, where people came, like parents came and like watched us
yeah.
and shit like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I remember I had seen it. I remember like the beats, the parts. I'm like, okay, they sing about the car.
Yeah.
The car flies at the end for some reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're in leather, and it's the
Oh
50s.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny because there's a fan theory about the flying car thing.
That's in my fun facts.
Oh, is it? I don't. I this is
Yeah.
this is. Well, can I spill those beans?
Yeah.
Can
go
this
ahead.
cat be yanked
Spill
out
the
of the bag?
beans.
So the fan theory for that is that apparently like Danny Zuko and Sandra Dee like
Just get crazy
died.
high.
Like they
Doing
crashed
what?
and
Yeah.
died at Thunder Road, that car race
Oh,
thing.
that's different than the fun fact that I have.
Oh, really?
It's just that Sandy dies on the beach.
Oh, yeah. No, it's like the fan theories that they both die. So that's them like driving away up into heaven, and like the rest of it was everybody else like imagining a happier ending for them.
What is this? This movie's already really fucking stupid. It's even stupider. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it was like a near-death hallucination.
What? But they. All right.
So you didn't care for this film the first time you saw it?
Yeah, no, I was. I mean, I saw it when I was really young too, and I was just like,
Yeah.
this movie's kind of.
Yeah, I don't see.
And I don't
it
mind
being a movie that
musicals,
you
like,
would enjoy.
I mean, I grew up watching Disney movies too, like the rest of
Yeah.
you guys. So like, I'm familiar with like
Yeah.
musicals and stuff.
Yeah,
but, and even now, like live action, like musicals nowadays,
Yeah.
like I like La La Land. It
Mm-hmm.
was delightful.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, this movie wasn't something that I was like at all interested in or cared about.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, up until I vaguely remember seeing it.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I just know that I have seen it and I remember the beat. I remember
Yeah.
the beats.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Joe.
I came to it rather late because like it was introduced to me by somebody who liked it quite a lot. I was probably in my early 20s.
Really?
I think so when I first saw it. And I was like, oh, this is fun. It's it's a fun movie. I enjoy the songs.
Had you heard the songs before, or were you aware of them?
Because
Because it was
I'm
a
sure
Broadway,
it
it
was.
was a Broadway like play, right? Before
Yes.
Yeah, it was a musical, and so I definitely was probably aware of the songs, but didn't know that they came from a show or a movie.
Yeah.
I was aware of John Travolta, but by that point, to me, John Travolta was the
Face
guy
Off?
in, well, not quite. Yeah, he was in Face Off and Broken Arrow and
Pulp Fiction.
Pulp Fiction and like all
And
these things.
Saturday Night Fever, all of that stuff.
Yeah.
Which would, like came out around the same time as this.
And
Right.
Battlefield Earth.
Battlefield Earth, the unsung classic.
Yes.
Yeah, so like I was aware of John Travolta. Whoa.
Tom Travolta.
Tom Travolta. You know
Tom
what?
Cruise.
Adele Dazeem.
John.
Good job, Joe.
So I was aware of him as an actor and as all these other things, not as a
joke?
singing, dancing dude. Now he's something else.
Yeah.
So yeah, but I thought it was fun. You know, my favorite musicals are, outside of like Disney films, like Nightmare Before Christmas and Blues Brothers and, Dr. Horrible Sing Along Blog, stuff like that. So I like musicals, and
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
totally fine with this movie.
Yeah. Well, I am kind of like, we're all three different parts of this spectrum here. Because this, growing up, was one of my absolute favorite movies.
Which you told me earlier today, and that
Yes.
surprised me.
Yes.
That is surprising.
It's- yeah.
Because just considering how sheltered you are.
Exactly, and how...
Yeah, my mother was the one that showed it to me. I watched this movie at least once a week.
That's so weird.
Yeah,
That is so weird.
because
Because
like sheltered and
at the-
restrictive as your parents
at
are.
the time, I think it was rated PG, and then it got re-rated to PG-13
Mm-hmm.
after the MPAA added that rating system in.
Yeah.
But we
still,
had it
I mean,
on
she,
VHS,
didn't
it
she
was like-
watch it?
Well, there's a lot of stuff that I guess, like, when you're used to it already, that you just don't think about as bad.
I mean,
Yeah.
I guess, but I don't know.
But I also
Considering
have
all
not...
the things that you're always like, my parents didn't let me do that.
Yeah.
And then it's just like,
Yeah,
I don't know.
like
Let's say
it's been like at
PG-13.
least 10 plus years since I've seen this.
Yeah.
So I'm probably gonna rewatch this and be like, there are so many
Oh.
things in here where I'm like, why did my parents let me watch this when they wouldn't let me watch Friends?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that's gonna be really interesting.
I think
But
that's a-
I do like, I
But you
know
have to-
all of the songs
Yeah.
by heart.
See, I think it's sort of because we talk about, through the lens of nostalgia and adulthood, right? And I think that lens can work a different way in that something that was edgy and maybe inappropriate,
Yeah.
but you saw it so long ago when you were young, and maybe you yourself were more edgy and inappropriate than you are like currently.
Yeah.
And then a new thing comes out that is just as edgy and inappropriate, but now you're much older and all, tensed up, clenched, shall we say, that it's
You
like,
gotta unclench Amy.
yeah, unclench. It's the thing about like, your parents being like totally cool with this movie, but not cool with Friends.
Yeah.
But if Friends had come out when they were younger, then they would have been like, Amy, look at this wholesome show.
Yeah, like this movie came out like when my mom was in her teens.
Yeah.
So she's like, or actually no, she was in her teens because it came out in like
It was in
78.
her 50s.
So she would have been like 18 when this movie. She would have been the same age as these kids were supposed to be.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it'd be
Not
like
30 years old.
yeah. So it'd be like just like in her wheelhouse, and
Right.
she probably would have been like, yeah, I love this movie.
Mm.
And my grandma, her mom, is a lot more lenient on things like this.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. So. That I think might be why my parents let me watch this. More so my mom than my dad. I don't think my dad really cared that much.
Yeah.
But yeah, this will be an interesting watch.
All right. Well, shall we watch it?
Yeah.
Okay. Johnny.
Yes.
And now, our feature presentation.
And we are back. What
We
did you guys
are.
think?
This is a really dumb movie. I mean, I get it. It's light and fun, but it's so goddamn stupid.
And long. You were
and
complaining about
so
how long.
Oh, yeah.
There's
you
so
got
many.
so mad when I told you it was an hour and 49 minutes.
There's
this
so
morning.
many. Because it's just, and nothing happens.
No, it's a movie really about kind of nothing.
It's a movie
It's
about
kind of a
singing and
slice of
dancing.
life. Yeah, it's sort of. I mean,
Which
slice
is
of life,
fine,
in
which
the-
is fine. You know,
Yeah, yeah,
it's
yeah.
fine. The thing that like it doesn't really bother me, but like I find this movie hilarious for unintended purposes, like unintended reasons, like because John Travolta has become like this joke, this
Yeah.
caricature. You know, that's
Mm-hmm.
all over, like, you know, into all types of, like, shows. And, you know, there's always, like, The Simpsons, I think, have, like, you know, it's John Travolta. He's like, oh, geez. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and it's always just this bumbling idiot.
Yeah.
And he's playing that in
Yeah.
this movie.
Which I think Joe and I were talking about this a while back. This is always the John Travolta I picture. This
Young
and
and
the mom
handsome.
from Hairspray,
Those are the
which
two.
are like two totally opposite ends of the John Travolta spectrum.
Yeah.
But those are like my two touch points for John Travolta, plus Adele Dazeem. But that's like more towards the Hairspray side of things.
Yeah.
But it's like, yeah, this is my John Travolta. If we
Yeah.
were to pick out like
But so, like, I'm watching this
time.
movie, and, like, you know, I think we're supposed to like him.
I mean, I don't really know.
He's like he's the hero. He's the main character.
He's the protagonist.
He's the protagonist.
Yeah, I feel like
you are supposed
you have
to
a
like
point.
him.
It's like I don't feel like you really like or you really have feelings towards any specific character and any.
I don't like any of these characters.
Oh, you know what?
Kaneki. I love Kaneki.
The one I did love was that guy. That guy's a fucking douchebag and a fucking idiot.
Cool. Joe and I were talking about this earlier, and I got some thoughts on that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Interesting. I liked Frenchie. She was nice. I
Yeah,
thought she was
Frenchie
really
was
sweet.
great.
She was
She's
really
in
sweet.
she's in Grease too, by the way. She's
Oh, yeah,
one
she's
of the only returning
one, right?
characters.
Yeah.
And it's funny because this movie takes place in the 50s, but I've always had a thing for girls with like really bright colored hair. So
Oh, yeah.
when her hair is pink, I'm like,
Hello,
I was
Hey.
like, I like that a lot. And I was like,
Yeah.
you should have kept it like that. But I get that it was the 50s, guys.
Yeah.
All right.
I really like Frenchie. Marty is stupid. Like, she's probably the dumbest of the pink ladies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But she's also the prettiest.
Yeah, oh, yeah. Agreed.
I remember like watching it, or I when I was watching this, I was like, I'm Marty. 'Cause she just keeps eating.
No,
No, that's not
Marty's
Marty.
Marty's the other one. Marty's the one that's hitting on Vince Fontaine at the
Yeah,
dance.
the
Oh,
host
yes.
of the show.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The other girl.
The adult.
brush
and
up,
she's
brush
supposed
up,
to
brush.
Brush.
You know she's
Jan.
Jan.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, the girl's always eating.
I always like
Yeah.
all the pink ladies, like beside like Rizzo, like Rizzo,
Yeah.
you know
Yeah.
Frenchie, but it's like the other two I always like got them switched.
Right.
Even now.
Yeah, there's that
obviously.
line where the guy's like, "There's more to you than fat." It's like, "Oh my god."
Yeah, I'm like, and
Oh my
she's
God.
like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
And you're just like, oh god. I'm gonna just say this. Also, everybody in the 50s was fucking lame. All right.
Yeah.
Everybody was lame. God, even
Hey
like
man, some of us were cool.
no.
No.
I don't know what it is about the 50s, but they're so goddamn lame.
Uh,
Also very racist.
well, so this movie is super problematic.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I think
Oh,
it's been
100%.
it's a
I mean, it's
couple
probably
of
been,
years
like,
since
yeah.
I've seen it,
Yeah.
you know, and I didn't think about as much of the things now that we're thinking about.
Yeah.
But fuck,
Oh yeah.
it
Yeah.
is. It is.
You,
I mean,
yeah, you're just like, oh.
yeah, like we were saying earlier today, there's the guy like looking on the bleachers,
Yeah,
like
the dude-
looking
yeah,
at the
you're
girl's
just like,
skirt.
whew.
And like, sure, everybody's like, "Whoa, what are you doing?" And I guess that's good. But the fact is that he was still doing it,
Yeah.
and there weren't any really repercussions.
they were
Well,
just
and
like,
like during the dance, like one of the guys just like goes by and like lifts the like preppy girl with the glasses shirt or skirt
skirt,
up.
yeah.
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 And then also like the, tell me more,
Yeah.
did she put up a fight? It's
Yeah.
like, oh my god.
Yeah, like there are some lyrics in these songs that I'm
I
just
mean,
like
that's the fact that you watch this with your parents. I'm just like,
I didn't necessarily watch it with my parents. My parents let me watch it. A lot of the times I was watching it by myself or with my sister, who at the time was probably like 3 or 4 years old.
that explains it.
Yeah, like there's like the scene in the drive-in where Rizzo and Kaneki are having sex and the condom breaks down. Just like I did not realize that's what was happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Until like just now watching it. Like even 10 years ago, I think the last time I watched it,
Yeah.
I was like, okay, I was just like, it kind of was like a passive thing.
Yeah.
I was just like, I'm not really paying attention. And it was just like something that I accepted as happening.
Well, so I understand not getting like what that was happening in that scene when you were young, but were you sort of able to process the whole idea of Rizzo possibly being pregnant
I
and
was
that being
younger?
bad?
when I was younger, I don't think that even registered.
Uh-huh.
It registered the last time. I remember knowing what was happening
Yeah.
when I watched it, but I don't think like the condom thing registered
Sure,
for me
Yeah, but
until
the-
this past time I watched it. But I did realize like 10 years ago when I last watched this that like something had happened, like she was pregnant and like all that stuff.
And she's
Right.
supposed to be in high school.
Man,
Yeah.
they look so old.
They-
They
yeah,
look
it's just,
so
like-
old.
They're in their like 30s.
It's hard to believe that like she's upset about being pregnant when she's 35.
Man, I don't know. I would be upset if I was
Well-
At
pregnant
any age.
at any age. Like that.
If I was pregnant, I'd be very upset.
Well, in the 50s,
But it would
this
be a
was the time
miracle.
of the baby boomer generation coming up.
Yeah, but I mean, the thing is like I have friends who are like married and they're pregnant. I'm like, oh no, what are you gonna do? You know? And,
It's like, no, we wanted this. It's like,
and I'm like,
what?
What?
That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I don't understand.
Why?
Say it slower. But yeah, no. And they're all kind of. So there's like Kaneki and Zuko who are cool, quote
Yeah,
unquote.
quote unquote.
And then the rest of their friends are actually real losers. I mean,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
lame guys. They remind me of like Looney Tunes. You know, the little dog that's like, "Hey, Champ, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do
Yeah.
now, Champ?" And it's like, quit it.
The
You know,
Three
like,
Stooges bit, though, I love that Three
Yeah.
Stooges bit. Like,
but
I
they
mean-
they just feel like guys that are just desperately trying to like overcompensate for
Yeah.
not being cool, and
Yeah,
it's
the whole
and
thing
it's kind of
it
painful
feels,
to watch.
Well, because they don't feel like real people. They
No.
feel like cartoon characters, but
Yeah.
not good cartoon characters.
I think that's kind of the heritage of the stage show.
Uh-huh.
You know, not only
Yeah.
the story because it moves like a you know, plays sort of tell different stories
Yeah.
than movies do, and plays kind of are just like vignettes of things. Not all, but sometimes.
Yeah.
yeah.
And especially musicals, I think, are guilty of this.
Mm-hmm.
And so, and then they just deal in these like big sort of in your face archetypes for these side characters, you know. And I feel like that's what these
That's-
characters were.
Yeah. Like I didn't like Rizzo, and I was like,
No, she's kind of
awful.
terrible.
She's
And
Yeah.
awful. And
I
I'm
mean-
just like, huh. And like I guess I'm supposed to feel like bad for her at a point, like when she does her like solo song or whatever. And you're just kind of like, no.
Yeah, the slow songs, like her song, and then the Sandy song
Hopelessly
that John Travolta
Devoted to You.
sings.
Oh.
Yeah. And then the one that
Oh,
John
well,
Travolta
Hopelessly
sings.
Devoted to You, which
the
one?
country song
Which, yeah, the
that
Hopelessly
comes in out of
Devoted to You,
nowhere?
which was recorded after they needed like another ballad, and that was recorded after Principal Photography had finished, and it won a freaking Academy Award,
did?
or it was nominated for one.
Because I will say, movie shortcoming aside, a lot of the songs are good and very
yeah,
Yeah,
it was
the songs are
nominated for
catchy, some
an
of them.
Academy Award.
Yeah.
But yeah, like all of those ballads just really brought the movie down for me.
Oh, it's awful.
Yeah.
And it
I remember
I did
the-
laugh when it's Danny's like after the drive-in where he like
Yeah.
tries to feel her up,
Yeah.
and then she's like no, and then she like leaves, and he's like hey, whoa, hey,
Yeah.
and then he sings this entire song
Yeah.
about like why did she leave?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Because you try to grope her.
And she didn't want
And
it.
she
She
didn't
said
want
many
to.
times
Yeah.
before she closed the door on your dick.
And it's like,
Yeah.
what?
You know?
And I also do love the line right before that happens when he like gives her his ring or whatever, and
And
she's
you're
like, "This shows you respect me," and I'm just
Yeah.
like, "Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
this is awful."
It is funny though, because there's like some 50s sort of doo-wop songs, you know, like Beauty School Dropout, which is by the way a really mean song.
It
Oh,
is.
yeah.
It's so mean.
Because
Um,
Frankie Avalon's telling her
give up on your dreams
give up
because
on
you
your
suck.
dreams. Yeah.
Yeah, and instead
Like
of
you can take that cosmetology degree and go become a secretary.
yeah, and so like it's a super mean song, but it's
Yeah.
catchy.
Is it? I felt like that was just like I was like,
Beauty
where
school
the
dropout.
fuck did this come from? And it was just all of a sudden
Yeah.
just like this dude, and I'm like, I didn't know who this person was, but I was like, I'm assuming he's some famous singer guy.
Yeah, Frankie Avalon.
Which I have some fun facts on Frankie Avalon and a bunch of recastings, including the teen angel, which is Frankie Avalon's character.
but yeah, no, he's a famous dude.
Yeah, I figured
Um,
he was.
and-
That seemed like a spot that was like made for like a
Yeah,
cameo of some
it
sort.
it is. But the crazy thing is that there's that, and then there's Hopelessly Devoted to You, which is very country.
Yeah.
And then you've got this disco song that opens up the movie.
Yeah.
The song Grease is very disco.
Which the director did not like that song at all.
Oh, that's funny. I like the song
Or
a
no,
lot.
you're the one that I want. He said sounded awful, but he
Oh.
he felt the lyric. He hated the opening song. He felt the lyrics were too dark and cynical for the light, fun movie he was making.
Yeah.
But
It doesn't match. It doesn't fit in with
Yeah.
the rest of the songs.
He
at
also
all,
said that you're the
but
one
it's a
that I
good
want
song.
sounded awful.
Oh, I
Which
like.
you're the one that I want is one of my favorite songs.
It's
from
very
them.
That's
fun.
the
It's
one
got-
that I remember the most. Well, I mean, it's the one, although I think it's a really stupid song.
Yeah, but it's
mean-
catchy
It's catchy.
and it's
we
fun to
We
sing.
did dance to it in when I was in dance school.
I can't imagine you dancing at all.
I was like 8.
I know, but the fact that I'm just picturing you as an adult dancing.
No,
That's hilarious.
I can't dance.
I know you can't dance.
Because I stopped dancing when I was 8.
Yeah, you know what else is funny? Danny Zuko. I bet he's related to Tony Zuko, who's the bastard that killed Dick Grayson's parents in Gotham.
The TV show?
Nope, like the city.
Oh,
Yeah, no,
I
this
don't
is
watch
going-
that TV
this
show.
is going over my head.
yeah.
Yeah, so Tony Zuko is the name of the character in the comics that kills Dick Grayson's parents, and sort of which forces him obviously to become Robin in Batman.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So you were saying that Kaneki and Danny were the bad boys.
The only cool
And-
ones.
Yeah, the
With
cool
any
bad
chill.
boys.
Well, I mean, no. I mean, they were.
They're
yeah.
still jerks.
And
They're-
yeah,
yeah, they
yeah.
were
So this is gonna
positioned-
say a lot about me. I was telling Joe this earlier. They were the basis for a lot of the guys I had crushes on in middle and high school.
Of course, they were. You were like,
And I did not realize that until I watched this movie, and I was like, oh shit.
Oh shit!
Oh shit.
Grease did
What does
some
that say about
damage.
me?
Really got into your head. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
And then like Sandra, she's boring, and that I guess the whole thing's like
Yeah.
she's really boring.
Yeah.
And then
But she's a really nice person, at least. She's like at least nicer than everybody else in this
Yeah.
movie. And then at the end, it's
Yeah.
like, nah, I like at the end that they're both like gonna be somebody else for the other person.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
He's gonna be like the jock
The
guy.
Letterman,
yeah, the guy.
Letterman
And-
sweater,
yeah,
not jacket. Letterman
yeah.
sweater.
and she's
guy.
gonna be like the greaser person.
Yeah.
And it's like that. What the fuck is that?
It's
It's like
that's
the gift of the Magi,
not-
but for personalities.
yeah, and I'm just like, this is.
Yeah, I always
this is
felt bad for
problematic.
her during the "Look at Me, I'm Sandra D" that Rizzo sings.
Yeah.
Because I was like, God, that's so mean.
It is a bitchy thing to do. I'm just like, Jesus
Yeah.
Christ, she's like right there.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's not even like she's like, I can understand if they were having a sleepover and like they mentioned her, like
Yeah.
but she's there.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
like when you're not here and Johnny and I talk trash on
Yeah,
you, 'cause you're not
exactly.
there to defend yourself.
Yeah,
But that's
exactly.
because you're not there.
We did the same thing on Monday for Johnny when he was out.
Yeah,
how it
because he
goes.
wasn't there to defend himself.
Absolutely. But like,
We don't do it when you're right there.
No, that's so mean.
it's very mean, and it's so like at the end she's like a greaser person, but she's not really a greaser person because she's just trying to impress Danny.
Yeah.
And you're kind of just like, what is this movie about? Like, what's going on?
What
here?
is it telling us?
What is it telling us?
Telling us
And then they
change-
fly off. They literally fly off in a fucking car.
Because where they're going, they won't need roads.
and I'm just like, that's. I remember even as a kid seeing that and being like,
Yeah, yeah. I remember every time I watched
so
this,
they
I
fly?
would always be
When
like,
did the car fly?
Why?
Did I miss something?
I'd be like, why is that happening?
Yeah.
But that's why people have that fan theory of it's like the whole movie is a death hallucination for
Some fever
Sandy.
dream.
Yeah,
That's
like because they
whatever.
fly away into heaven in the car that they build in Grease Lightning.
Right.
Yeah.
Because it's totally not the same car that Kaneki drive. Well, Kaneki has, and then the Danny
Yeah.
drives in the race.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because it's different. Yeah, it's different. But this movie
Well,
is fucking
but it
weird.
is because it's the fantasy
It's the
car
car
with
that they
the
build
clear
in Grease
hood.
Lightning.
Yeah,
yeah.
But it's not like the same car that it ends up being when they get
Races,
like when it goes from the fantasy
Right.
to the reality.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you said you sang this and you sang some of the songs.
Yeah, I
in,
sang
in school.
So I sang.
Did they change the lyryrics?
They changed, I think, some of the lyrics.
They had to.
They changed "Grease Lightning." I think it was instead of "Girls Will Cream," "Girls
Yeah.
Will Scream,"
Uh-huh.
which is easy enough.
And
I don't.
Pussy
I don't
Wagon?
think I knew.
Oh
the
yeah,
lyrics.
that's right.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about that one.
Because I would sing that. Like I actually remember as a child singing "Pussy Wagon."
And you were just thinking
And
like,
not
I love
knowing-
cats. I would
and-
love a car full of
no,
cats.
I don't think I ever like understood or connected that with a cat at all, or like what a pussy is. I was
Or
just like,
female genitalia.
yeah.
A female genitalia wagon.
I was just like, oh, it's the lyrics. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, because I was talking to Sarah about this, and she mentioned that whenever, because I was asked, she recently like went back to her high school to do like a production of Hair, and they didn't do the naked stuff. But it's like famous. That play is famous for having like a naked scene where everybody's naked, and so they didn't.
We
do
did
it.
songs from Hair in that class too.
Oh, did you? Did you do the naked stuff?
I mean, I did, but it wasn't a part of the class.
But
Yeah,
it's
you got kicked out for that.
And so, like, but one of the things I asked her was like, wait a minute, if a high school class full of actual high school people do hair, what do they do? And she's like,
Yeah.
oh, they don't do the naked stuff because it's like otherwise that would be illegal.
Yeah.
You know, and so
Or I mean, they could just wear like flesh-colored bodysuits.
True, right? And so I said like, and then she mentioned Grease. Whenever schools do Grease, that they change lyrics like "Girls will scream for Grease Lightning."
Yeah.
It's greased
Greased lightning.
They never actually say the word grease in the movie Grease. Fun fact.
Interesting. One of the things that I was thinking about when I was watching this was all of the cliques that they have. You know, there's like the guy gang, and then there's the girl
Like the
gang,
T-birds, the
greaser
pink
gang.
ladies, the
ladies, yeah.
nerds,
and then there's the greaser gang from
the
elsewhere.
track people.
That's
Yeah.
right.
The
Yeah.
Scorpions.
I was thinking because like my high school was not like a normal high school. We didn't if we had cliques, I was not aware of them. Granted, I'm not aware of a lot of stuff.
Yes.
But like, did you guys have
Yes.
stuff like that?
Yes. Not as like extreme as this, but we had cliques. Yes, there were obvious like party lines.
I mean, yeah, kind of. Not really.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, we had three guys that looked like Jesus.
Yeah.
And they were all friends. They had like long hair, long beards. They
Yeah.
didn't speak to anybody. They performed small miracles, and then, you know,
Turned water into wine. You know.
yeah. And then they got in
kids at
trouble
parties.
because they were drinking
Yeah.
on campus.
Yeah.
But it was just
Yeah.
like, oh, there's the Jesus guys.
Yeah, we
you know?
had like we definitely had the kids that were stoner kids. We definitely had like the popular kids. Most of them were like football team or baseball team members,
Yeah.
plus their girlfriends.
Mm-hmm.
And then we definitely had like the Naruto kids, the anime,
Real running.
the anime board, the anime
Running
Anime
head
boys.
first.
What they have a name now. I think they're called Weebs now.
Yeah, weebs.
Weebs.
What?
A weebo.
A weeb is like a white male
it's
or like a white person who's like or somebody who's like really obsessed with Japanese culture who's not actually Japanese.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't know that. That is a new word for me.
It's an internet word.
Yeah.
It's really funny sounding.
It is, yeah.
It is very funny sounding and I love it.
Yeah, it's great. I made a profile for one of my Hulu profiles. On Hulu, like you could set up different profiles.
Yeah.
And I set up one, and she's called Weebs. So that's where I watch most of the anime on.
Oh, that's really funny. Weeb.
Yeah, Weebs.
It's almost. I
So
mean,
Weebo. It's short for Weebo,
which is what?
which is the word that means.
That's a real word.
I don't know if it's a real word.
But that's the full word
that's
term.
yeah, it's the term.
Got it.
Like a Weebo, and then.
Oh, Weebo is much like an otaku.
Yeah.
Weebo
Otaku's an actual Japanese
or
word.
commonly
That just means fan.
misspelled Weebo is an over obsessive fan of Japanese culture and are giving otakus a bad name. They revolve their whole life around anime and manga, usually with the mainstream material. Oh, and if you search Weebo, it gives you the little yellow thing from Flubber. The
What?
picture.
Anyway.
You know Weebo, the little telecommunication device that Robin Williams has in that movie? Who floats
Oh,
around?
the little floating thing. Yeah.
Yeah, his name's Weebo.
Oh yeah, there it is. It's so cute. It was a picture of Adam Savage.
And
with
we
it.
bet.
Interesting. Okay. Well, I learned something new
Yep.
today.
Yeah.
And stuff.
I got some
Amy, what's the fun fact?
got some fun facts and I got some recastings.
I have one question for you though, Amy.
Yes.
Did you feel some big Lucille Ball energy coming from the dean of the school?
Yes, Eve Arden. I have a note here that says, "Oh my god!" Every time I saw Eve Arden, it reminded me of L.A. at Last from season 4 of I Love Lucy.
Yep.
I don't know what you're
And
talking about.
and the scene where Ethel taps her on the shoulder and says, "Hey, can you tell me what that picture is at the very end?" She goes, "It's Eve Arden," and then she turns around and it's Eve Arden.
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh!"
Yeah.
But that goes into a recasting that I have.
Does it?
Yes.
Okay.
So for Rizzo, Nancy Keys was considered for the role of Rizzo, but the first choice was Lucy Arnaz.
Really?
Yes,
the hell is
but
that?
It's Lucille Ball and Desi Arnaz's daughter.
Yeah,
Interesting.
Lucille said she was allegedly dropped from consideration when Lucille called Paramount and said, "I used to own that studio. My daughter's not doing a screen test."
Oh.
Because Paramount bought Desilu. Mm-hmm. So the casting director remembered seeing Stockard Channing with Arnaz and Sandy Duncan in the play Vintites at the Mark Chaper Forum in Los Angeles, and that's why he hired Stockard Channing for Rizzo.
Wow. Interesting.
Yeah. So I thought that was a fun little connection there.
Connected.
Yeah.
So fun
You
facts.
know, I was wondering, did you notice, like, I've always wondered why Stockard Channing's, like, the drawing of her in the beginning looks so ugly.
yeah.
Like, it goes from, like, a fairly cutesy drawing to, like, this really
just
horrendous.
with like hard lines and shit.
Yeah. It's this
Yeah.
horrendous caricature that's
It's
like,
pretty
ugh.
bad, yeah.
Like all of the caricatures are kind of just like very
They're not great.
Yeah.
But they're like unflattering political cartoons.
Yeah.
But
'cause
that
weren't
one's
those,
bad.
Weren't those type of cartoons popularized in the 50s?
I mean, political cartoons have been in existence since
But like that style
since
of
the turn of the
drawing.
century. I don't know. Maybe.
I forgot that it started off like with an animated thing, and I was like, oh yeah, huh,
It's
yeah,
weird.
Yeah.
It's weird
See,
that it does.
That was
Yeah,
the thing.
it's
Like,
super weird.
Yeah.
I thought
I'm saying
that
this is a weird movie. Like none of
Yeah.
it really makes sense.
Yeah.
like I thought that was first, and then it was the beach stuff.
Oh yeah.
But it was the beach stuff, and then that, and then
For whatever reason, I also got it flipped, and I was
Yeah.
so I was like, whoa.
I was like, wait,
Even though, of course, it does, because I remembered like it opens up like the old From Here to Eternity kind of like
Yeah.
beach ocean
montage
waves crashing
with
thing.
the like
Yeah.
the overlays that look like a romance novel.
Yeah.
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 So I have a couple fun facts. I'm not gonna go through all of the ones that I have because I have a lot. I went real crazy on the fun facts on here. I just love this.
She
movie
had a
so
lot
much.
of fun with these fun facts.
All right, Amy, rapid fire. Go.
There is a fun little cameo from your dear friend Michael Bean in the classroom scene where they put the frog in the nerdy girl's purse.
Yeah. He actually mentioned that because I think that was like his first big thing. Like,
Really?
or not his first
like
big
when
thing,
you
but
were
like his.
interviewing him, he mentioned that. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't realize that until I was looking through the fun facts.
I totally forgot, and I was
need to
even
go back and watch that.
when he said it, I was like, "Oh, I think because I think we'd already talked about watching Grease,
Yeah.
and so when he said that, I was like, "Oh, I'll have to be on the lookout for him."
Mm-hmm.
Totally fucking forgot to look for him.
Well, hey, you have the Blu-ray. You can go back and check
In
anytime.
crystal clear HD.
Yeah. The cast chewed about 100,000 pieces of bubblegum during the shoot. That's
Ooh.
5,000 pieces a day. Do the math on that.
That's,
Jeff Conway is only a half
makes my jaw sore.
is half an inch shorter than Travolta. Jeff Conway is, so he had to stoop to make Travolta look taller.
Yeah.
But I think you can totally tell. You can like tell the way he's like slouching and like.
Yeah.
But also Travolta has his like chest out like really far.
Yeah.
There's a well-known fun fact that I only know this because it was on a bonus feature at the end of the VHS that I had.
Mm-hmm.
Olivia Newton-John had to be sewn into her leather outfit.
Yeah, I have.
Oh, really?
Yep.
I do
Because
remember
the
watching it.
zipper broke.
I was like, that's tight.
It's literally.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have a fun fact.
Yeah.
There's a section of the movie where it's basically Fast and the Furious.
Yep. That's not a
It's
fun
like-
fact, Joe. That's just fact.
It's bizarre. I like watching it now. It's like, oh, this is Fast and the Furious now. All of a sudden.
Yeah, like
With
especially
his
when
spiked chariot wheels.
yeah,
Yeah.
the spikes just go.
yeah. Yeah.
I'm like, that is what the bad guy would do in Fast and the Furious. Like that is
Or
what
Mad
Jason.
Max.
That's what Jason Statham would have done in one of. I feel like he did that in one of his when he was the bad guy still in
Yeah.
Fast and the Furious.
Yeah. Yeah.
I do like that scene too because they're talking about like this thing's so dangerous.
Yeah.
You know, and then it's just like, oh, it's the LA River.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's like,
Well,
oh.
you know what's funny is that usually the danger in those drag races, it was the danger was to the woman who was like, you know, starting the cars off. A lot of times they'd get hit, and that's like a real thing.
The LA River was so full of trash and like still water that a lot of the cast got sick on filming those days.
Oh yeah, I'll bet.
Gross.
I mean, probably still.
I
Right?
have two more fun facts, and one of them goes into some recastings. Jeff Conway was so infatuated with Olivia Newton-John that he was tongue-tied whenever she was around.
Aw,
But he ended up later marrying her sister, Rhonda Newton-John.
it's best as you can do.
I mean, hey, you can't, you know.
So, in the stage play, the song Look at Me, I'm Sandra Dee has a reference to Sal Menino, who was murdered in 1976. So, for the movie, the lyric was changed to reference Elvis Presley, who died the same day that the scene was filmed.
Oh wow, that's interesting.
That is.
Which leads me into a couple recastings,
So Grease
including Elvis
King.
Presley. So,
What?
yes. Yeah, so Elvis was considered, or, oh, wait, where did
and
that
let's
one?
keep in mind, listener, that this is fat old Elvis at
Yeah.
the end of his life, bloated, dead on a toilet seat, as it might be quoted from Wayne's World.
So
like party, cool.
when Alan Carr first bought the film rights to Grease, the producer Alan Carr,
Yeah.
he envisioned envisioned Danny as wait, hold on.
Jesus, Amy, learn how to read.
I can't read.
She's
He
from
envisioned
Indiana.
Elvis
This is her
as
second
Danny.
language.
He envisioned Elvis as Danny and Anne Margaret as Sandy.
Huh.
I almost said Sandy the way Danny says it when he first sees her. Sandy. But at one point, Donny Osmond was going to be the teen angel, and Elvis Presley turned down being the role of guardian angel in Beauty School Dropout. So
Interesting.
So it would have been kind of interesting to see him, and I don't know when, like the timeline of when they filmed things, but he might have already been dead when they filmed Frankie Avalon's
Which
scenes.
explains why he turned them down.
He was too busy sitting on his toilet eating a peanut butter and banana sandwich.
Fried. Let's remember it's fried.
As one does.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that would have been interesting. Like they like it would have made sense since Danny is very much based off of Elvis.
Yeah.
To have him be the guardian angel, even though he has really no connection to Danny's character. But it's also interesting that he's referenced in a song in the movie version, and then he would have played a guardian angel later on.
Yeah.
It would have like made a more of a connection when Frenchie has that daydream kind of thing.
Right.
And instead of Sid Caesar, which we haven't talked about Sid Caesar.
Yeah.
He's hilarious.
He
God,
is pretty
he's
good.
so great, and
He's
I
pretty
never
good.
realized that was Sid Caesar.
That montage of him shuffling him from one sport to another is
Yeah.
pretty good. That's
Oh, I
pretty funny.
love that.
And
Like
especially
that is one of my favorite non-musical parts of this movie.
Yeah. Well, then at the end too with the pie throwing, and he's like, "If you'd stayed in the class, you would be able to hit me with this pie." And then that Eugene guy comes up and does it.
Yeah.
The nerd.
And then they're mean to that dude.
Oh, they're mean
yeah.
to everybody who is not part of their group.
Yeah.
Pretty
And
much.
did you notice that like when they're at the dance, when they're like running through the sort of hall of people, sort of it's
The
people
line
the
dance
line
kind of
the
thing?
lineup
yeah.
of people, and everybody's running through with their significant other. that
He's
they've
with the
been paired-
teacher?
He's with a balloon. He has
Oh,
a
is he?
yellow balloon, and that's
Pretty
it.
funny.
And
Oh
he's
wait,
just
no,
like,
it's one of the T-Birds that's with Eve Arden, I think.
well, it's
Because
definitely
Eve Arden goes down the line. Oh no, Eve Arden and Sid Caesar go down
and
the
Caesar.
line together.
Yeah. But yeah.
No, he's one of the T-Birds is with the like secretary, I think.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
So instead of Sid Caesar, it was supposed to be Harry Reams to be the coach. But because of his past porn roles, there were protests. So he got recast.
Harry Reams, that name makes sense now.
Yeah. Checks out. Story checks out.
So would you rather hear the only recasting for Danny or the couple recastings I have for Sandy first?
Yes.
Okay. So Henry Winkler was supposed to be Danny, but he turned it down because he didn't want to be typecast, which makes
shit.
sense.
Yeah.
Because like I feel like
He'd
he
already
hasn't
been the Fonz.
he always plays different roles every time. I feel like I see him on screen. It's always something different.
But he's still the Fonz.
Yeah.
Although he is great on Barry.
Oh, he's so fucking
So
good
I
on Barry.
know he's like one of the main reasons I really want to I'm like
You need to watch Barry if you haven't watched
I
it
know.
already.
We talked about this last time.
And you still
I'm
haven't
gonna-
watched it.
I'm gonna So whose fault
It's
is it?
been a week.
I'm just saying. You better get on it.
And then for Sandy. So Susan Day and Deborah Raffin were the first choices for the role. Day declined after her manager advised against it. Travolta revealed in a 1998 interview that Linda Ronstadt was considered for Sandy.
Oh wow.
At one point, Marie Osmond was going to play Sandy but turned it down because she didn't want her teenagers someday to see You Have to Get the Bad Boy as a personal choice for her as a mother or wanting to be a mother someday.
Huh.
And then
Because it can't explain to kids that it's only a movie.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then finally, Carrie Fisher was considered for the role.
What?
Shit.
That's fucking
I mean, it
weird.
would have
Yeah.
been right after Star Wars. I mean, a year after Star Wars. She
That is
is also Sandy D.
Yeah. Kleiser went to the Star Wars A New Hope mixing stage to visit his college roommate George Lucas and to see her in one of the battle scenes. Kleiser couldn't tell from the scene whether Fisher was right for the part, so he kept looking.
Because there's so much battling that happens in Greece.
Yes.
It's so funny how connected all of these early directors were.
Yeah.
Coppola and Lucas and this guy and Spielberg and like they were all just
Well, it's
Hang
those
out.
film school brats. Like
yeah, but they didn't even all go to the same school.
And apparently there was a scene that got cut. In when like Sandy and Danny are having like that conversation behind the menus in the ice cream parlor, and then everyone comes and sits down.
Yeah.
And then when everybody leaves, it's kind of just Rizzo and Kaneki, and she ends up pouring the milkshake on him.
Yeah.
There was a scene that they filmed that kind of bridges the gap for that, where they have a fight. but it was cut because it felt too out of place and it felt very Martin Scorsese.
Whoa.
So there's another film school brat connection.
That's weird. A
This
section
whole
of this
movie
film where it
doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
it's like there was a scene in the like off to the side where somebody was getting stabbed with a pen.
Yeah.
And it
Yeah.
felt too Scorsese-ish, so they left it out.
Yeah.
What?
There was a guy that looked like he had like Wolverine hair. Did you notice? He's one of like the side characters, like one of the dancers in like Greased Lightning, and at the end, like one of the greaser type guys, but not one of the main group. And he had like Wolverine, you know, sort of swept on both sides kind of hair.
Not Flock of Seagulls hair,
Nope.
even though that was like a couple of decades later.
If it had been more pronounced and a little more like feathered, maybe, or like the weird ass color, because they were sort of like bleached blonde,
Yeah.
weren't they, or platinum blonde? So this was just like normal hair that was swept up. But I always noticed him, and I was like, hey, he's got Wolverine hair.
It's Wolverine.
Wolverine.
So,
Singing and dancing.
any
I mean,
final
he does sing and
thoughts
dance.
before we wrap this up and ask the big old
Hugh
question?
Jackman can dance
And sing.
and sing.
That's
I
what I'm saying,
know.
he
I
does
have
sing
seen
and
him
dance.
in person do it.
Hey, close
I've
personal
seen
friends.
him on television sing and dance.
Sing and dance.
Sing and dance. Any final thoughts?
This movie's stupid. I can see why it's enjoyable. It's like the songs are catchy, and
Yeah.
it's, you know, if you don't think about it too hard, it's fine.
It's innocuous
Yeah.
and innocent.
Yeah.
If you don't think about it too
If you
hard.
don't think
It's
about
not
it.
innocent.
No.
Yeah, they are talking about fucking a lot.
They are. And then they do it a lot too.
And,
Yeah.
That's what it's like the main thing.
You know, it's funny. I feel like I don't want to say every time I see it I like it less, but it ages.
I
This
definitely
movie does
liked
not
it a
age
lot
well.
less.
It is definitely
This time
an
around.
aged
Yeah.
I before, like, I didn't have any feelings for it. I was
Yeah.
like, it's a thing, and I remember the
Yeah,
song. So, yeah, watching it again, I'm like, I get why people would like it. It's kind of like light and fun if you don't think about it too hard.
Yeah.
But it's still just like, I can go the rest of my life never watching this movie again, and I'd
Yeah.
be very happy.
Yeah.
So, I guess, does it hold up?
Not for
No.
me.
Yeah.
What about for you, Amy? You're the one who really
Yes.
liked it.
I think it still holds up. It's like, it's granted very dated, and it has some very blasé, I guess, feelings about a
It ha-
lot of things.
It has outdated 50s and 80s notions.
Well, this movie was
Yeah.
made,
78.
78.
Yeah,
right?
but I
Yeah.
mean, you know, 78, late 70s, early 80s. You know,
Same thing,
it's outdated on two fronts.
I do like the fact, though, that they have a female principal.
Yeah.
Where most of the time, it's a male principal.
Yeah, that's makes sense.
And that
though.
it's Eve Arden.
Women can't be principals.
Yeah. Usually they're the teachers.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it holds up because it's just a fun. It's not about anything, but it's just a fun movie you can put on in the background and sing along to.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good enough reason to like anything, right?
Yeah. But let us know what you guys think of Grease, and if we should watch Grease too.
Don't make me watch, please,
No.
listener. Don't make me watch Grease 2.
But you can let us know your thoughts
Sarah's probably
on
already make me watch it.
Twitter or Instagram at Nostalgitis, NOSTALGITIS, or on email
On the email.
at nostalgiaeffectpod@gmail.com. But don't forget to be kind and rewind.
Yeah, rewind. Don't be a dick.
Bye, everybody.